Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 18th part of Starfield. We are almost at the end of the pirate quest line. I think we've got the mission we're about to start and then one more after it. And I'm going to make sure that we've gotten all the pirate side quests done. Because probably once I end this, there's no way to go back and get them. And I would like to know if you'd like me to track down any other side quests that I haven't already done. It'll require me to put the game on pause and swap back and forth between a web page and the game to see what quests are on the completed list already, but I can do it. With that in mind, let's go on ahead and continue. I am your host, Iron Dragon. Quick reminder, for those who are new to the channel, if you want to support what I do, you know what to do. You hear it from everyone else who you follow on YouTube. I think I'm going to stop that whole request for hitting mark. I think I'm going to stop that whole requesting likes and subscriptions because everyone has heard that before from everyone else. So, or I might do it once every 3 or 4 streams instead of every single stream. Also, I think I have figured out my plans for what to do after Starfield. There are the 3 BioShock games, which would only be 2 or 3 streams each. And then after that, there's a new RPG, which is science fiction. I forget the name of it, but it's set on Proxima Centauri. It might be cool, so I might do that one. I'm gonna check it out first and make sure it's, what I'm looking for in an RPG. Because if it's not good, I'm not doing it.
Is Mina seeing anyone right now? Patience. I got.
Oh, let's see. I want to look at completed. There is. Well, deep cover was what got me on this, so. And burden of proof I'm on. Rook meets King. Echoes of the past. Breaking the bank. The best there is. Absolute Power is the one is the one that I'm about to finish. Eye of the Storm is the next one. Okay, I've got all the pirate side quests done.
And you are sure we will have those defense batteries up and running?
No. I'm not sure. They're in bad shape, Del. Really bad shape. I'm already using duct tape and spit to keep the station from falling apart, and you want me to pull a rabbit out of my hat?
I don't want to hear excuses. I want to hear that it's going to be fixed. Period. Get it done.
All right, I'm on it.
You want to quit standing there and hand over the conduction grid data?
Ah, perfect. I'll take that.
Dependable as always. Unlike some people we know.
Oh, that's real funny.
All right, listen up because I don't want to repeat this twice. We've gotten word that UC Systef is massing somewhere nearby for an attack on the key. While we prepare for their arrival, I want you to head straight for Bannock 4 and bring Crixus' legacy home.
How do you know they're massing for an attack?
I have a very reliable source at Mast.
Oh, goody.
They were so concerned that the threat was real, they actually jump the information out to us right away.
I'll prep my ship immediately.
Just slow down and listen before you jump the gun and ruin everything. Lay it out, Jess.
All right, first things first. I'm gonna upload this data you snagged from Generdyne into the Keys databanks. All you need to do is build and then install a conduction grid module onto your ship. Oh, and if you haven't already, you'll need the CommSpike module installed as well.
While we're at it, perhaps we should fetch your groceries for you as well?
Once your ship is ready, jump out to Bannock 4, board the Legacy, and bring us the cash.
Where do I build the ship modules on?
Everything you'll need for ship repair and construction is down in Jess's section of the key. If you have any questions about the modules, she'll have all the answers.
What if nothing's there when I get to Bannock?
You better
4?
pray that isn't the case, because that means we are done. As in, no more Crimson Fleet.
Oh, good. There's got to be a catch.
Of course there's a catch. What, you thought this would be easy?
After you board the Legacy, be on the lookout for 2 transfer modules. They're special keys that allow access to the ship's vault. Once you locate the vault's control center, hook up the data core I'm gonna give you, and download everything they've got.
And before you get any bright ideas, like running off with the money, that currency is going to be heavily encrypted. Only a genius like Shinya will be able to crack that encryption. So bring it back here right away. Because those Galbank ships were carrying so much money, they didn't even trust their own crew. That would be a first. I have yet to see encrypted currency that Shinya could not manipulate within hours. I mean, the guy plugs his body directly into his mainframe. He eats, breathes, and shits numbers all day. No, I'm not worried about him.
That sounds painful, especially with some of the pointy numbers like 5 and 7.
Yeah? I sure hope so. Look, I'm gonna make this real simple for you. If that money ends up anywhere but the key, I will hunt you down and pry it out of your dead hands myself. Now get moving.
Let's see, is there more to Crix's legacy than just
The Crimson
money?
Fleet isn't really a fleet. It's an ideal. A principle that Crix sought to set up so that pirates didn't infight over scraps. Over time, that notion has been lost. Captains have been turning their backs on the fleet, doing jobs on the side, killing each other. Bringing Crix's legacy back to the fleet would be like validating everything Jasper Crix believed in. And I'm certain it would unify us once again. Of course, it wouldn't exactly hurt to have all that extra money at our disposal. But I think you catch my meaning.
Who are these captains you keep mentioning?
You've met some of them already. Mathis Castillo, Yevgeny Rokov, Juan Dayu, Estelle Vincent, and Adler Kemp. They might feel like independents to you, but each one of them has a stake in the Crimson Fleet. And each one of them wants a cut of the wealth. I am sending word out to every able-bodied captain that they are needed. We'll see how many answer the call.
What's your biggest worry
The
about
toughest
attack?
nut to crack is if UC Sistef brings in the Vigilance. That Commander Ikande has himself a hell of a ship there. Advanced shield tech, bristling with weapons. I would love to see that thing burn. If we hope to stand a chance against it, we need those defensive batteries, and Crix's legacy. Now get your ass to Bannock 4.
I need to get those defensive batteries online, so make this fast.
How will the CommSpike module help me find the
The
legacy?
CommSpike traces and decrypts coded signals. As long as you have the transponder ID, you can track pretty much anything. That file you lifted from the Galbank archives contained the Legacy's transponder code, which I'll program into your nav system. All you have to do is get within the vicinity of Bannock 4, and the CommSpike will automatically point you to the target. Cute toy, huh?
How about the conduction grid module?
Well, you already know that the conduction grid does a pretty nifty trick. It absorbs extreme voltage and converts it to usable power on neon. The version for your ship can still absorb incoming electrical energy, like, say, the EM field surrounding Bannock 4, but it can't store the power. Instead, it just scatters the EM harmlessly away from the hull, insulating you from frying every circuit aboard. As a nice side effect, I'm betting the module will make your ship somewhat EM weapon resistant and boost its shield regen. Lucky you. Not a problem. Conduction grid data is all set up in the system, so should be an easy install.
Well,
I bet you would.
okay, there we are. Now then, ship. Add. No, pull away from it. I want to do this at a safe distance so it doesn't stick it to the ship until I figure out where I want it. I doubted it would be in that. Oh, come on. I already have that scan jammer on the other side, so that's as good a place as any. Do I have a better place to put this? Well, not one under the ship, at least. Okay, fine. There. And we are done with the
That
keys.
last job didn't pan out. I need something bigger. Rook,
Hello, Dyruger. And off we go back to the Vigilance. With the comm spike and and that other thing. Okay, off we go.
Here to shoot the breeze?
replace my personal savior. Thanks again for the assist.
See anything interesting today?
Why do I have the feeling that all of them are just standing around on the bridge doing nothing?
Hey.
My family's all in the UC Navy.
All support ships have arrived, Commander.
Good. After we're done here, arrange it briefly. I want all of their CEOs over here as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
There you are. Where have you been?
I've been busy doing my job.
You mean your latest excursion to Neon? I've received the reports about your little foray into Genodyne. Last piece of the puzzle before you go after Crix's legacy. Which means it's time to put all the cards on the table and prepare to attack the key.
I'm glad they're finally backing your play.
Thanks to your evidence, we are finally able to convince them to task us the necessary resources. Before you jump to Bannock 4, I need to make one thing abundantly clear. The credits from that Galbank transport cannot reach the fleet. You have to bring them here at all costs. If Delgado gains access to those resources, we might be touching off a battle we can't possibly win.
We've been monitoring the Crimson Fleet's comm chatter in the Crix system. They're gathering allies by making promises based on your success.
As much as I hate to admit it, UC SysDef won't stand a chance. The fleet will become stronger and more unified than ever.
Perhaps the UC should have thought of these potential consequences before incarcerating those people on Suvorov.
Perhaps. But instead of spending time debating our predecessors' mistakes, we should be working towards a rapid solution.
I'll bring it back to the Vigilance.
I've always known that when it came down to it, you'd do the right thing. All right, I guess this is it. Do whatever prep you need to do aboard the Vigilance, and then head out to Bannock 4. When you return here with Crix's legacy, we'll begin the attack. Good luck.
How did you convince the UC to authorize
The
attack?
evidence you've been bringing to Lieutenant Toft has been instrumental in convincing the brass at Mast to greenlight the attack. They've sent us support ships, extra troops, weapons. All on account of your role in the operation. To put it simply, if it wasn't for you, this operation would be at a standstill. During the end of the Narion War, the money was destined to bolster the Freestar Collective's coffers. Even though we were rivals at the time, and I suppose we still are to some extent, the credits still rightfully belong to their people. After the money is turned over to Mast, I'm certain arrangements will be made to return the money to the proper authorities in Aquila City. It's time to dig deep and get the job done.
Give me a second. Okay. Just wanted to double check and make sure I knew where the last piece of evidence actually was, because the last piece of evidence is in this mission. Wish it would stop doing that. It keeps resetting my power settings.
I hope our conduction grid holds. Otherwise, that EM radiation will overload every circuit on this ship. Oh, keeping my fingers crossed.
Let's try to avoid bouncing off too many asteroids, though.
EM levels are off the charts, but the conduction grid's holding. Over there. It's the Legacy, and she's completely intact. And what's that? Is that another ship docked with it? Strange.
Warning, an emergency lockdown has been attacked.
Look at the damage to these robots. We're not the first people to set foot on the Legacy since it was trapped.
Emergency. Execute safety protocols immediately. This is not a drill. No water and nothing in the fridge either.
No signs of a struggle here. The Legacy seems to have held together, but the crew was trapped.
Crew recording initiated. Alright, it's recording. So like you were saying, that's all we have left.
If we stretch things out and cut our rations in half, I'd say we'll be out of food in a week, maybe 9 days.
How do I do it, Kellner? How do I tell everyone we're all going to die?
You don't have to. Everyone knows. They're all making peace with it. Bakara and Osterholt knew. They simply chose to handle it by giving up early and taking their own lives.
Look at all that money down there. Millions of credits. Completely worthless. With all of that, I could buy another ship. Fly us all out of here. I wonder if Galbank will even bother to send word to my family. To any of our families.
Captain, listen. You're not at fault for what happened. Those ships came out of nowhere. The fact that we've lived this long is a gift. A miracle.
Which means we should enjoy every second of the time that remains. Right, crewman Kellner?
My thoughts exactly, Captain.
Come closer. I need you to hold me. Crew recording terminated.
Yeah, we all know what happened next. It's better than what I've got. Let's grab it. Crew evaluations. Osterholt is an alcoholic. Aguilar is short-tempered. Nothing of any major importance, but well, probably not better than what I have, and it's a master level pick, so I'm not going to bother with it. Looks like he overdosed on painkillers, then shot himself. Okay.
Warning, vault access requires an authorized transfer module.
Knew it.
Vault access approved. Please stand clear of the door.
Seen one of these in years. I think Galbank stopped using these decades ago.
Okay, before we proceed on that route, let's see if there's anything the other way that I want to loot. Not Really? No. Just another dead robot.
Score another point, Rosa.
Hold on. I'm encumbered. Come over here.
It's done. Let's head home.
No, it's not.
We should regroup back at the lodge, see how everyone is coping. Come on, let's get back.
Fine. I'll drop stuff. It's epic, but it's not really that much better than what I've got. Drop. Well, we're not going in there unless we have to. Reactor leak.
This one's down.
did not intend to grab that weapon, but that's okay. I'll carry it around.
Catastrophic damage.
Got another one!
All systems.
Connection failure. Oh boy.
You know what? Second thought. I don't want to know. Something's out there. Hold your...
Catastrophic damage.
Why do I have the feeling that there's going to be a dozen turrets in this thing? be honest, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get in trouble for her little attack when we did that last mission.
Beginning combat protocol. Massive damage.
But I just could not get her to follow me through that final vent.
Like the Legacy's crew.
Before I forget. Oh, I'll sort through those later. I have plenty of weight. Go ahead and take the Revenant.
Crew recording initiated.
Son of a bitch! Nothing. Complete waste of time. I've tried everything I can possibly think of, and I end up right where I started. Oh, here I thought I was so clever. Thought I had it all figured out. First, fix my ship and get the prototype shielding back online.
That's how he got here.
Second, shunt the power from the cred tank array back to the system to drain the credits. And then third, haul ass back to my ship before the EM field rips apart the Legacy. 3 easy steps, right? Only problem is, I'm stuck at step 1. Every system on my ship is dead, and there's nothing aboard this ship to use for repairs. I can't believe I came all this way, just to end up stuck here like the poor bastards who ran this ship. Actually, wait a second. Issa will figure it out. I told her where I was going for a reason. She's smart. She'll know something's up when I miss the rendezvous. After all, we're supposed to split the loot. All I have to do is sit tight and wait until she figures out that something's gone wrong. And she'll come here looking for me.
But she never did.
In the meantime, I should start rationing my food. I could be waiting for a while.
Sure could.
Crew recording terminated.
And there's the last of the evidence right there next to him.
Crew recording initiated.
Well now, let's see. Another day's gone by. What's it been now? 6 weeks? Who the hell knows? Food packs from my ship are gone, so it looks like the clock's running down for me, and Issa wins. What a clever woman. I never saw it coming. I mean, I can't blame her. I was stupid enough to hand her the opportunity. Now the fleet's resting on her shoulders. I only hope she doesn't run the whole operation right into the ground. Anyway, let me just sit down in this chair. Yeah. There we go. Best view in the house. All that money staring me right in the face, and it's completely worthless. I'm spending my final days. Hopefully, someone with at least half a brain will follow in my footsteps and bring the score home to the Crimson Fleet. If anyone finds this message, tell Issa that I don't blame her for what she's done. Most important, tell her to keep the fleet strong.
Crew recording terminated.
Jesus. Nick still has the zoomies. I let her back in, and she ran into the house so fast and ran back to her water bowl, couldn't stop in time, skidded on the vinyl, and knocked her head into the refrigerator. She's okay, but it was funny as heck to watch.
Warning, power reserves insufficient for requested action. Warning, power reserves insufficient for requested action. Beginning currency transfer. Please stand by.
Anytime it says wait for something to complete, I'm usually worried I'm about to get attacked.
Currency transfer complete.
Of course there is that.
System failure detected.
There goes the main power. We need to get the hell out of here.
Well, is there some particular reason you weren't wearing your suits?
Multiple hull breaches detected. Structural integrity damage. Immediate evacuation recommended.
Okay, that was a little bit tense. What the hell are you talking about? Fast travel is currently unavailable from this location. I'm undocked, you jackass. Thank you. Might as well grab the loot. There we go.
I screwed up, sir. I had the bogey in my sights and I just
Damn,
fumbled.
fleet scouts popped up right when we jumped in. Can't believe we let one.
Good work securing the legacy. The station is on high alert ever since those scouts popped in.
After all this sneaking around, we're finally bringing the
Good.
place to them.
Is that it?
Amazing.
Is that Crix's legacy? Amazing. Ensign, take this and enter it into the data core analyzer.
I'm on it, sir.
You see, Lieutenant? I told you he wouldn't let us down.
I have to admit, I'm impressed. Encrypted or not, it's quite a lot of money to be carrying around. The temptation must have been excruciating. Well, you came through.
Now, on to other more pressing matters.
We received confirmation that the fleet ships were scouts sent to probe our defenses. Unfortunately, one of them jumped away before you arrived.
Which means that Delgado will have the Crimson Fleet prepping defenses of its own.
If Delgado's aware of our attack fleet, then we're at a tactical disadvantage. We have little time to waste.
That's the plan. Lieutenant, if you wouldn't mind explaining our strategy.
Yes, sir. The Vigilance is equipped with the latest in hyper-resistant shielding, making it the only ship that can safely approach the key. The catch is that the key has access to 3 orbital defensive batteries that can fire electromagnetic energy. One hit, and we lose those fancy shields. Our mission is to take out those batteries. In fact, I'll be personally leading the assault on Battery Alpha. I need you to be my support.
Sadly, we didn't get as much support for this mission as I would have liked. There just wasn't enough evidence gathered.
We weren't able to convince MAS to lend us additional squadrons. They feel like they've committed too many resources already. That means we'll have to take out all 3 batteries ourselves.
It's unfortunate, yes. But we wouldn't be here if I didn't believe you could do it.
We've also given you a call sign, Renegade, to help coordinate our movements during the attack.
Once those batteries are destroyed, you board the key and bring Delgado to justice. We won't come quietly. You do what you have to do.
Consider it done.
I knew we could count on your support. Well, this is it. After years of planning, it all comes down to this moment. All my hopes and my best wishes go with you. Good luck.
Every soldier here is ready to bring the fight to the
Give me a sec.
I hate to be the one to let that scout get away.
If you have any last-minute questions, now's the time. Excellent. Let me have it, and I'll upload it to our database.
I've discovered this is why we don't have any backup. I grabbed all of it, but I never turned it in, apparently. Oh well.
Interesting. Looks like he's been meeting up regularly with Neva Mora to transfer goods and cash from Sidonia. Which means the Crimson Fleet's just lost one of their drop points. That should set them back a bit. That it?
Picked this up from the locked penitentiary.
It's amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Crix's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Crix picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Find anything else?
This is what was found in the warden's office.
I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Crix needed a helping hand to get out of prison.
Back before that
Any
mission,
other fragments?
at least.
Tisk, tisk. Looks like Mr. Rokoff lied on his application to Trident Luxury Lines about having a clean record. No matter. Next time he jumps from the key, we'll have him picked up. That will be one less fleet captain for us to worry about. Have any more?
Got this piece of information on a certain Galbank employee.
Are you kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a 6-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. It's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. Anything else?
The evidence about Wanda Yu should put her away for
Finally. We've been tracking the Jade Swan for almost a year, but Captain Dayus somehow remained one step ahead. Every time we've scanned that ship, it's come up empty. Well, she's not going to skate away this time. Nice work. That it?
This recording about the ComSpike shows the UC's got some internal issues.
Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to MAS right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Have any more?
Got some solid dirt on Estelle Vincent.
Perfect. Taking her out of the running is going to seriously damage the Crimson Fleet's hold on Neon. Even better, that's one less fleet captain and one less ship to worry about. Find anything else?
Grabbed this from a Generdyne executive's office.
Benjamin Bayou, pride of the Freestar Collective. The authorities there have been trying to nail him for a long time. Bringing us proof that he's been manipulating Generdyne from the shadows is pretty tasty stuff. The FC will pay dearly for this. Good job. Have any more?
I'm willing to bet this will put Ayumi Komiko in deep trouble.
Perfect. Komiko's wanted for corporate violations in UC territory, but having concrete evidence means we extradite her and nail her to the wall. I'm sure we can arrange a prisoner trade with the Freestar Collective, make it beneficial for both interested parties. That it?
This should close the books on Jasper Cricks.
That's a hell of a story. Still can't believe Cricks ended up being marooned on the Legacy. All that wealth, and the only thing he could do was stare at it. Can you imagine? I almost feel bad for him. It must have driven the guy crazy. That it?
According to this, you have a mole.
Yeah, you're right. But there's no way this was a solo job. Shifting all those parts takes serious manpower. I'll send this to Mast so they can shake the tree a bit, see what falls out. Looks like Durand better start looking for parts somewhere else. Anything else?
Here's everything I have on Shinya Voss.
So Voss engineered a way to directly interface with the Key's mainframe? I knew he was a math genius, but didn't realize he was so tech-savvy. Well, we'll share this information with Galbank. Hopefully it'll help them shore up the security on their cryptocurrency. Any other fragments?
Here's some information about the murder of Madeline LaRue.
We were aware that Miss LaRue was involved with Fergus Wickham. When her body was recovered, SysDef assumed he was the culprit. Sounds like we had it wrong. Should have pinned the murder on this Clay Dietrich perp. Well, we'll have to clear that up. Nice find. Any other fragments?
Apparently the Key's been getting its medical supplies from the clinic.
I knew those supplies had to be coming from somewhere, but I never expected them to be leaking directly from the clinic. I'll have to contact Mast and let them deal with this. Freestar Collective territory is out of my jurisdiction. Find anything else?
Interesting information about Radley Jaso.
So, Mr. Yasso is actually Lionel Soto. We thought Soto was dead. At least, that's what the records told us. I'll have the records updated, but seeing as Mr. Yasso has surrounded himself with the Crimson Fleet, there isn't much we can do. Yet. That it?
Got this hot tip. Someone in the fleet is hoarding a shipment of stolen chunks.
Hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. Find anything else?
Stumbled across some evidence about what happened to the Chiroptera.
Good. When SysDef stumbled across the wreckage of the ship, we were sure it was the Crimson Fleet, but we could never prove it. We found 32 dead colonists in that wreckage. Poor crew must have put up a hell of a fight. At least their families will now have some closure. Anything else?
You might want to raise the alarm at Hopetown.
The fleet's planning a raid on Hopetown? Okay. I didn't expect them to be so bold, but I suppose desperate times call for desperate measures. Don't worry. I'll circulate the description of this captain to the authorities on Hopetown and make sure they never set foot in that settlement. Find anything else?
Looks like Neva isn't finished with that base on Crete.
I have to hand it to Neva Mora. The lady's thorough. That facility on Crete still holds a good bit of valuable resources and equipment. All right. Can't do much with this one except pass it over to the military. Hopefully they stop denying the base's existence and do something about it.
How close are the defensive batteries to the Key?
Far enough you'll need to grav jump. I assume the fleet moved the batteries in order to have maximum coverage for any possible approach. I'd be willing to bet they shipped their track too, so we have a difficult time zeroing in on them.
Where did the Crimson Fleet get the defensive
Actually,
batteries?
the batteries were part of the Key's original design. The UC built them to bolster the Key's defenses. They were worried about an outside attempt to free the prisoners, as opposed to an escape from below. Since the Crimson Fleet is now using them to target the Vigilance, they're basically turning our own weapon against us.
Why hold prisoners aboard the Vigilance when you could send them directly
Two
to
reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, This is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight.
You really don't like talking about the past,
You're not
do
gonna
you?
let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past?
Since I'm entrusting Sistef with my life, I deserve to know who's got my back.
Okay. But don't say I didn't warn you. You might not like what I have
I
to
already
say.
have some idea what it is.
Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite.
Quite the opposite. It explains quite a lot.
Oh, does it now? Was I giving off some kind of ex-con sort of vibe? Well, give me a chance to explain. I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house.
You did what you had to do.
That's just it, though. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
And yet, look at you now.
Thanks. I'm quite proud of where I've ended up. Let's just say the years after my time in the Well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past, to know where my anger towards the fleet comes from.
Thanks for sharing this with me.
You're welcome. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering.
You feel like telling me how your time in the Well relates to your experience with the Crimson Fleet?
Yeah. I figured it was only a matter of time before this came up. The reason I didn't bring up the Crimson Fleet is, well, I was one of them. It's something I'm not exactly proud of.
Fair. And not exactly something you want to shout from mountaintops.
Right. No one else but you would understand what I've gone through. It's been a long and difficult road. I was recruited out of New Atlantis by Neva Mora. She said I was making a name for myself, and it caught the fleet's attention. I was thrilled. It was a chance at bigger and better scores and gave me a ticket off-world. Why the heck would I say no?
Why did Neva choose you?
I raised hell on New Atlantis until someone stood up and took notice. And just like Adler Kemp stuck his neck out and vouched for you, someone else in the fleet did the same thing for me. In fact, it was my idea to send you to Sidonia for your first, well, I suppose you call it a mission.
Let me guess, Neva dangled credits in your face.
Of course she did. How else would you get an aspiring criminal to blindly follow you into a life of interstellar crime? They took me in. Delgado ran me through the paces on Suvorov, and before I knew it, I was part of the team. Now I was making some serious money. That apartment I boasted about in New Atlantis became a joke. I even made enough to buy my own ship.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Oh, it dropped. Hard. Everything changed thanks to Commander Akande. The man basically saved my life. I owe him everything.
Hearing that makes me feel better about placing my life in
If
his
I've
hands.
learned one thing about the Commander, it's that he cares deeply about everyone under his command. Look, I've already said too much. I promised Commander Akande I wouldn't talk to anyone about this. All you need to take away is that I've literally walked a mile in your shoes, and I appreciate the risks that you're taking. Carry through with this mission. I promise you I'll be there every step of the way.
Could you tell me how he saved your life?
I suppose. Though the Commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find.
Solid crew, solid ship.
You say that, but most of those pirates acted like greedy children. Spent more time breaking up share disputes than I care to remember. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just set her off, and believe me, she took a while to cool down.
Why did you select her as your first?
Honestly, she was so overbearing she kind of fell into the role on her own. I didn't even make it official for months. Despite her temper, she always had my back and helped me keep the rest of the crew in line. Of course, it also helped that she was the best pilot in the fleet. She flew rings around what SysDef was throwing at us back then.
I can relate to that.
In some ways, I suppose we all can. But for Arya, she definitely lost her temper much too often. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with war. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter.
Where did such a terrible tip originate?
Well, it showed up on Shinya Voss's mission board, which means it could have come from anywhere. I don't know what he's like now, but back then, all of his missions were pretty solid leads with good pay.
Boarding with only 2 of you was pretty
It
brave.
wasn't brave. It was arrogant. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender.
See, that's the thing. When you start killing hostages, you're not thinking straight. Because what happens when you run out of hostages? You think you're going to just walk out of there?
You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads, and saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, the shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it.
You did what you had to do.
That's what I keep telling myself. I hope to God we're both right. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think?
I think Commander Akande made the right choice.
It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know he made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. According to my superiors at MAST, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job.
It was the right thing to do.
Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed up on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
What is it?
Everyone's saying this is it. The final battle's come.
Okay.
The fleet started this war. We're gonna finish it.
Well, I guess it's time to finish off the fleet. Or, well, I doubt it will. I imagine I'll still be encountering pirates, but maybe not as organized as they've been. And I'm sure I'll never be welcome on the Key again. Oh wait, I'm going to be going to the Key to finish off what's-his-face. There is that. But I seriously doubt I'll be able to buy, you know, like, shielded cargo base from them. Of course, then again, that's what the Red Mile is for.
All right, Alpha Squad. Follow Renegade's lead. Take out that battery.
Grab drive's down. Not like I was gonna leave anyway.
Stay on your target. Press the attack. You've already lost.
Mayday! Mayday!
They knocked out the battery. Battery's out, but we still got bogeys.
For some reason, my turrets aren't firing.
Take out those fleet ships now. Uh-oh, let's do this.
I got a bogey on my 6. I can shake him.
Stay in formation. Keep those targets in sight.
Bogey in sight. Let's do this.
That's why you never go with just turreted weapons.
Last shot. Not like we're running anyway. One down, 2 to go. All ships jump to Beta. Renegade, on your mark.
be a bad idea that they're not firing, because they have a bad habit when you have this many ships of accidentally firing on a friendly ship, and, well, that'd be a bad thing.
Evasive maneuver. Avoid that missile lock. Take him down.
Got the ground drive. They don't call me the Angel of Death for nothing.
Time to do some dodging until my shields come back.
Can't believe you're fighting for the other side, Rook. Emergency pack.
another one of the bugs that they fixed in the community patch, is that laser weapons shouldn't run out of ammo and have to reload, but it acts like they do. thankfully I had the firepower to get through that even without my main guns offline. I mean, even without my main guns.
Wait, something's wrong. Where's the damn vigilance?
Lose something, Toft? Ava's dealing with your flagship as we speak. I wouldn't expect backup anytime soon. Gives me plenty of time to blow your ships out of the void. All right, fleet. Triple share to whoever takes the traitor down.
All ships, defensive formations.
Let's end this.
that every single starbase and ship in the game, it's like, don't you guys have some way of preventing the airlocks from opening?
Exposed wires here, a little rust there. What a unique way to decorate.
Which reminds me, do I have... No, the pilot spaceship is not as good as this one. Moving. Let's open the docking port.
Wait, what was that?
Didn't have much, did it?
Going out.
Just keep going! Come out!
Here it comes.
Interesting background material, but I don't feel like taking the time to read it. this. Wow, quite a long mission.
All right, everyone! Take them down! Opening fire!
Sending one.
What on? Not only did the new Rook turn out to be a rat, they handed the legacy over to Sistef on a silver platter. Even if we survive this fight, we don't have the credits to survive a war. I have the feeling Delgado is going to be a pain in the butt.
You did this to me.
Then we'll both die.
Speak to Shenya Boss. Which piece of him? Thanks to that bomb in his chest, he blew up rather well. I kind of like the way his head exploded. I would have taken a picture, but the flash makes the eyes turn red. noticed my clip was down by 2/3.
Came back to finish the job personally?
I've returned to try and talk some sense into you.
Talk sense into me? You're the one who's lost their mind. What the hell happened to you? You had Grixis' legacy in your hands, and you gave it away. For what? For honor? Justice?
Someone needs to stop fucking banging around upstairs.
Yeah? And why the hell does Sistef get to determine what is right and what is wrong? You know, when we were on Suarov, I saw the potential for you to become a badass pirate. One of the best. And now you suddenly expect me to believe I have been fooled the entire time? That this was some kind of elaborate game you have been playing? No. No way. For once in your life, be honest with me. Admit that you were tempted.
I'd never sacrifice my morals because of
You
temptation.
don't even have the nerve to admit it. Unbelievable. It is obvious that no matter what I say, you have no intention of honoring our pact. You clearly never did. I have already locked down the key and set its reactors to overload. Soon, you, me, and everyone near this station are going to be vaporized. Let's see how far that loyalty to Sistef takes you now. And spend the rest of my life in the brig without a credit to my name? Why would I do that?
You're a survivor. Martyrdom isn't your style.
As is every member of the fleet. And if I give them all one more day, maybe we make it out of this.
I know you looked out for me when I was with the fleet. This is my way of looking out for you.
So you noticed. And yeah, believe me, keeping people from burying a knife in your back wasn't easy. Fine. You win. Standing down the reactors. With the legacy gone, we're dead in the water anyway. Before you have begun to lock me up, I'm gonna leave you with some parting words. Whether you know it or not, you're damn good at being a pirate. It's in your blood. One of these days, that's all gonna hit you. And I'll be waiting for you in my cell to tell you I told you so.
Give me a second. I need to take my medication. Okay. And this is why you jack up your persuasion as high as I did. Wait a second. Okay, screw it. Either that safe is literally unsolvable.
Yes. Okay, hello.
Or I'm just not being patient enough and looking for the correct sequence.
Pardon.
Hello.
Waste of time.
Oh, it's here. Of course it is. Undock from one, dock to the other.
That was real impressive flying, kid. You earned your wings today.
Thank you, sir. I was just trying to do my part.
A lot of heroes on this day. Speaking of which, here comes one now.
You know, I had my doubts about you. Vanguard, volunteer force. Figured you for a tourist. But then I asked myself, as spectacular as I am,
and as humble as you are,
can I do what you do? And the answer was an emphatic no. See, I'm a great shooter, but a straight shooter. And that wasn't going to win this war. What we needed was someone standing on their side, with a boomerang gun. We needed someone whose bullets curved.
I am so tempted. I am so tempted. Bullets don't curve, dumbass.
No ride like a blindside. That's what I say. Anyway, you got a date with the commander. I figure he'll sprain something trying to pin the medals on your chest. But in all honesty, you deserve it. Good work taking out those pirates, Renegade.
Great job.
I believe congratulations are in order. With this decisive blow, the end of the Crimson Fleet is all but assured. But as much as I'd like to begin this celebration, technically we're still in the process of wrapping up the operation. On that note, Lieutenant, what do you have for me?
Reports are coming in right now, Commander. Delgado has been taken into custody and will be transferred to our brig. Unfortunately, Shinya Voss was killed by his chest bomb. Nothing left to be gained there, I'm afraid. Also, we've transferred personnel to the Key to secure the location until the United Colonies decides what they want to do with the station.
And what about Neva Mora?
According to our reports, Neva led the strike force that attacked the Vigilance. Unfortunately, that was the last we saw of her. It looks like she managed to escape. We don't know her current whereabouts, but I have our operations team looking into it.
That's fine. Overall, excellent news, Lieutenant. I have to admit, for the first time in 7 years, I don't know what to say. How about you? I know that was difficult. You hanging in there?
You worried that Neva is missing?
I certainly would have preferred to have reached a resolution regarding her whereabouts. After all, she was the fleet's second in command.
Just watch her back. I'm fairly certain she's not going to simply forget what you've done to the Crimson Fleet.
Let's not ruin the moment, Gillian. I'm sure our friend here is feeling quite pleased. Am I correct?
Proud that I did the right thing.
You should be. What you've done to serve the UC in this short amount of time is more than most people could hope to do in their entire lives.
If Mast isn't already printing up a batch of recruitment posters with your face on them, they should be.
I've twisted arms and cashed in some favors at Mast. I wanted to make sure you got a share of the money you recovered from the legacy. Call it a reward, a token of appreciation, whatever the hell you want. But you've absolutely earned every credit.
While it was satisfying enough to watch the Crimson Fleet meet its end, having an account brimming with credits is a pleasant bonus.
Didn't that money originally belong to the Freestar Collective?
Well, yes, I believe it did. But even if the money is ever returned to its rightful owner, and I believe it will, eventually, I'm sure they'd agree you deserve your share.
Thank you, that's very generous.
Don't thank me yet. If it had been completely up to me, you'd get a lot more than they're giving you.
Now that you're rich and famous, maybe you'll still remember us little people, huh?
Decorum, Lieutenant? Damn, I'm going to be really sorry to see you go. You've really become an important part of our team. It won't be the same around here without you.
Although, if you feel like staying aboard, I'm sure I could give you access to the SysDef mission board. That is, if you can stand spending another minute with us on Vigilance.
Excellent. I'm happy we haven't somehow frightened you away. Anyway, enough talk. You've earned a break, and I'm sure you wish to celebrate. Here's your promised reward. And wherever you might find yourself, my best wishes travel with you.
250,000 and a formal SysDef uniform. Okay, what do we still have? Well, we know where the Constant is. We can visit them if we want to talk to them. We can go back to Xenofresh and do another shift. Why would we want to... Oh, that's right. The bartender at Viewport who wanted me to steal that stuff for her. The Unusual SOS, that mission is bugged. I guess we can go back and deliver the news about SysDef's attack. And we need to return to the lodge anyway. So, I guess it's back to New Atlantis we go.
Word is, you pulled the rug right out from under those pirates.
I'm going to go ahead and sell that disruptor. I can probably make a better non-lethal weapon than that anyway. The Memento Mori? Eh. I'm tempted not to keep it. It doesn't deal as much damage as some of my other stuff, like the regulator there. Or the keel hauler, which does way more damage. I mean, look, 52, 214. Another reason to sell that mag pulse was that this does does more damage, and it's also I might sell the Urban Eagle. I haven't used it in forever. Formal uniform and crew hat. Plus 5% intimidation. Oh, I'll put that in. I'll lock that up somewhere. The scientist outfit. The plus 5% chance of research and development. It's worth it. Not sure why I was carrying a tomato. Some survey data to get rid of. Don't really care about getting less than it's worth, but I'll sell the miscellaneous stuff.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
If you don't see what you... Hope you're finding everything you need. Oh, please, take a look.
Sell from ship inventory, come down to misc. All the junk on your ship.
Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
Dealing in art is more exciting.
It must be great to be able to see.
Oh Lord. I just passed the adoring fan again. As I recall, on Babylon 5, Commander Sheridan did that with a teddy bear once.
If you were a victim of the recent
Babylon 5, teddy bears. But that was EarthGov's attempt to offset the cost of operating Babylon 5 with merchandising.
You have another story for me? My source is back. Here to report anything else?
I was there at the big battle between Sistef and the Crimson Fleet.
Of course you were. Why wouldn't you be? I swear you're either a trouble magnet or something.
Let's go with something.
So, Sistef finally, and against all odds, really triumphed against the Crimson Fleet. In their own backyard, no less. How were you involved?
I was working undercover for Sistef and brought the fleet down from the inside.
So what do you do for an encore? So, the Vigilants went toe-to-toe with everything the Crimson Fleet could throw at them. And somehow, almost miraculously, they captured the key. The key itself. I've confirmed that with many sources. Anything to add?
I was part of the team that captured the key.
Someone seriously owes you a beer. Hell, a keg.
Hell,
you have to feel good about how everything turned out. Commander Ikande is being hailed a hero. And Sistef's popularity is at an all-time high. Your thoughts?
Well, I could take some of the credit, but I'm not going to. And I'm not going to put it on Commander Ikande either.
The UC did kind of spawn this monster. And like you said, it might finally be dealt with. And that's all I need. You really do lead an extraordinary life. And as a, well, possibly embarrassing personal note, thank God for you. When you first walked into my office, I had no idea you would be at the center of so much. And I get the feeling you're not sharing everything.
Some secrets aren't mine to tell.
I get that. Really. I do. I talked with the editor, and he authorized a special bonus for someone who's worked with us so long. And maybe one day, years from now, you can fill me in on the stories you didn't want broadcast. Take care, Constellation.
11,000 credits, 300 more XP. What else have we got? Well, we got to return to the lodge. Yeah, Vladimir's back on the eye. Okay. Well, since we're here on the planet...
Do you have a death wish or something?
While we're here, wonder if she has any digipicks. I'm kind of short.
Please, if you experience any issues in your dealing... Welcome to UC District... Yes.
Nope, it'd be under MISC. She doesn't have any.
Back to it, then.
Heck of a day.
Hey.
Knows how many more people.
For some reason, it stopped letting me fast travel straight to the lodge. Not sure why. But oh well. Sam's belongings have been moved to the lodge basement.
Mateo.
Well,
Al really isn't.
Everyone seems more distant in the lodge. I guess that is to be expected.
Thank you for helping me out with the artifacts. You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before?
we'll get answers.
They did openly threaten you, as I understand it. I'd say that's something to worry about. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now.
If I may, I know our encounter with the Hunter is the last thing anyone wants to talk about right now, but he said something that I can't get out of my mind. Unity. Do you remember that?
He said our part was... I was thinking about that too. It has to be related to the artifacts.
Exactly. Somehow. The thing is, I've heard that word before. It's an important concept in Keeper Aquilas's speeches.
The priest? Is the Sanctum Universum going to bless our little crusade of discovery?
It can't be a coincidence. The Sanctum has always believed that answers are out there in the stars. Look, I know it's the longest of shots and the biggest leap of faith I could ever ask us all to take, but why not talk to him?
It's too big of a coincidence.
There's
not to
no
try.
harm in gathering more information. A visit to the Sanctum might actually be quite enlightening.
Thank you. I know it's not much to go on, but something about this feels right. I'll meet you over there.
You forget how much you take a place like the Lodge for granted. Until it's threatened. They can pay to fix the damages, but, well...
Wouldn't mind burning some helium out in the fringe.
Morale in the Lodge has been measurably reduced. I will be monitoring everyone's vitals for signs of continued trauma. I will go wherever I am needed.
Well, I don't really need her here, so let's unassign her from the ship. Now if it'll let me fast travel from here.
I have?
You have something for me. Yeah, I kind of figured that.
We're locked in.
The Eye continues to be operational, despite the Starfield.
The spent been washing red here and there all over the station. Grim work. Lucky I noticed a pattern in one of those artifacts you pulled out. Here.
Okay, let's see. What do we have? Oh, we do need to talk to Keeper Achilles. I should have done that while I was there.
I have things for you.
Besides which, my star drive is still damaged.
I have something for you when you have a moment. Ah, my day just got a whole lot brighter. I should start charging for my services.
She found a leaf. Yay.
Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects.
Keeper Aquilus, can we have a moment?
Oh, Mateo. It's been too long. How are your parents? Your mother still struggling with that azalea garden?
No, she figured that out a while ago. Had to adjust the pH levels in the soil. But, Keeper, I didn't come to catch up.
Oh. Well, what's on both your minds?
We need to talk about unity.
Oh. Yeah. How humanity comes together. How we are to love each other even as our universe becomes even more complex.
That's not exactly what we mean. Keeper, when you talk about unity, well, does it mean anything else? Something secret?
Perhaps we should talk about this inside.
Aquilus has helped me through some tough times lately.
Sir, I think your pants are clipping through your jacket.
Now that we have a little privacy, why don't you tell me exactly what it is that brought you two here?
It started with the discovery of the artifacts.
They're like nothing we've ever seen, Keeper. Gravitational distortion, sub-audio harmonic sequencing, unidentifiable energy fluctuations.
I caught half of that. So, these things are unusual? Even in your experience? There have always been mysteries that seem to defy our understanding of the universe. Beyond rational thought. We enter life as an act of someone else's faith in us. There's no way of knowing who we will become, and yet the risk is made anyway. So you've pushed into the unknown, not knowing where it would take you. And it's brought you here.
We know it's a stretch, but we hope you can help us.
I think I can. If you're willing to find your way in the dark for a bit longer, I can give you a path to discovering its meaning. There's an old story, far older than the Sanctum Universum, of someone who walked the settled systems and saw every corner of it. This pilgrim claimed he found the true meaning of unity. I always thought of it as just a parable for trying to bring humanity together, but maybe it's more.
Maybe this pilgrim was a starborn?
I'm not sure if he was. But if what you're looking for is connected, then anything might be possible.
Let's hear this story then.
In my story, the pilgrim met the founders of the House of Enlightenment and the enigmatic cult of the Varun. And he gave them each a part of the truth. Then he goes to his final resting place to live out the rest of his days in contemplation of infinitum addendum, his addition or contribution to the infinite. But what if the story isn't a metaphor, but a code, a way of finding the pilgrim again, or at least his grave?
Sounds like the House of Enlightenment and Varun have the other parts.
I agree. I think you need to talk to them about this unity pilgrim.
Am I going to have to break in
And
again?
clearly, not just in a theological sense, as I have.
Fine.
The enlightened work out of the well here in New Atlantis, helping the poorest citizens find a better life for
Yeah,
themselves.
I know where they are.
Varun worshippers are more enigmatic. But there is a lone zealot that was captured recently for attacking UC ships. I visited her a couple of times. Hopefully, she'll be willing to talk to you as well.
I'll stay here with the Keeper. We need to catch up. And I wouldn't mind asking him a few more questions.
It's a shame House Varun abandoned their embassy. I bet we could have learned a lot from one another. What when you do that?
Decided to send me off-world for some reason. Or switched quests on me.
I've flown across most of the settled systems in all manners of spacecraft, and yet I still get sick on the Nat. I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
Go in there.
Contrary to what you might have heard, UC security personnel are good people. Security scanners, chemical sniffers. The United Colonies sure isn't taking any chances.
Need some work done? We're asking everyone to take care of it. Nothing for us to do. You're in good flying condition.
Really? And yet my drive needs abilities.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please. Okay. No bounty.
Oh, that's right. It would have led me back to the starport anyway, because that's the way down to the well and to where the prisoner is being held.
My mother wanted me to be a doctor. A doctor. Mothers, am I right?
A visitor? I have all the company I need.
I know you've talked to Keeper Achilles about the Varun family.
He knows not the truth. He sends another to ask more incessant questions.
Perhaps you should hear us out before you decide to cast judgment.
The Great Serpent waits in the shadows. He will entwine the universe, and all but the faithful will be made as dust. That is the truth. No more, no less.
Keeper Aquila spoke of a pilgrim.
Anything you could tell us would be tremendously helpful.
Yes, I have spoken to your keeper about this. I will tell you what I told him, and then you will leave me. Jinan Varun meets the unbeliever. He gives false prophecy to Jinan. But such is Jinan's conviction in the Great Serpent, he does not hesitate. He cuts the unbeliever down. But the unbeliever returns. Jinan realizes the Great Serpent is testing him, and he will not be found wanting. 4 times they fight. Over 120 rotations of the planet they are on. Remember these 4 battles, Jinan, the unbeliever says. Remember these 120 rotations. But Jinan knows this is blasphemy, and delivers the killing blow. That is all.
There must be more to your god than just killing.
Strength and conviction show your worthiness to the Great Serpent. The kill is not as important as showing there is no doubt. I grow tired of speaking. Leave me.
Well, that was about as informative as a sack of bricks. Alright, off to the well. You're still here? Seriously, do you ever go home, or do you just live in that elevator?
The overdraft fees at Cowbank are out of control.
Thank you for helping Tahir. Hopefully he'll make a full recovery. If it's about the financial or food assistance programs, we are backlogged. Don't worry, we're doing everything we can. Oh, you're not? Sorry. Can I help you?
We don't mean to be intrusive. Any information you could provide would be very useful.
Listen, I've talked about this with him a ton of times, and there's no record of a Unity pilgrim, but since you both insist, our early records are mostly administrative. Humanitarian projects, group counseling notes, charity expenditures. But there is a series of exchanges the founding members recorded in a lot of detail. It's the closest thing I have to what Aquilus is describing.
You've talked about this with Keeper Aquilus before?
Yeah, I mean, he's always going on about trying to bring people of all beliefs together. Really wants there to be some shared story or origin. Look, I like the Keeper, but belief is the problem, okay? We don't need a shared narrative or theology. We need to help each other in practical terms.
Let's hear it.
A man walks into the first House of Enlightenment. The founding members just call him the Drifter. So they think he's a charity case at first, but no, the Drifter asks them a bunch of questions. If your philosophy is built on an individual's own morality, what about the second person? That second person might disagree. Isn't the problem of two what you're really looking for? And the founders respond, each individual must understand how the second person lifts them up. All of human effort is a story of cooperation pushing us forward. And it kind of goes on like that. He comes back every week for a year. Same conversation every time. Second person this, the problem of two that.
Maybe there's a message hidden in what he was saying.
Honestly, I think the founding members made it all up. There was a little more hesitation being openly atheist in the early days. I think they were experimenting with writing their own scripture. Fortunately, that got abandoned pretty quick. After the records of the Drifter end, you never see anything like it again. Besides what the Keeper would say about it, sounds like a gathering point, or a center. Or, in mathematics, it would mean one, like the one, the first or the beginning.
Thank you, you've given me a lot to think
Always happy to help. If you'll excuse me, I've got a lot of aid efforts to coordinate.
Okay. And while I'm down here, and right next door to it.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey, thanks for your service.
If there's something you need, you won't find a better select. That depends. If you have a ship and we frequently post cargo running jobs. Check them out. I've heard our jobs pay well. If you need anything else, you know where to find us.
People
Okay.
joke. Say those Varun zealots worship us.
Probably not going to do that. Now what?
Hey there.
Happy to all this stuff is take your time. Hey, take it easy.
For some reason, it wouldn't let me use the other elevator. The pad just wouldn't activate.
Be careful if you run into those equipment.
And once again, we are back to the Sanctum Universum.
Oh, you're back. What did you learn? Was there something hidden in their stories, like we thought?
The Enlightened story used the words second and two.
Planets are often named by number. That second might mean the second planet in the system. What else did you learn?
I spoke to the Varun. She said Janan fought 4 times over 120
If
days.
there really is a location the Pilgrim wanted us to find, those do sound awfully like coordinates. Was there anything else?
In your story, the Pilgrim contemplates infinitum addendum. That must mean something.
Yes. What he added to infinity. Maybe that points to a name. If we're looking for his resting place, we'd need to know the name of the star system, wouldn't we? Let's see. We have something that could be coordinates. Something that could point to a planet in the system. But what's the name of the system? Infinitum addendum. What if we break down the parts? No systems named finite or add. That just leaves in and dumb. Well, that's certainly how I feel.
Indum.
Yes, that's it. The second planet in Indum. At 4 and 120. That's where you'll find the Pilgrim's resting place. And from there, maybe you'll find the true meaning of unity. Before you go, you've now spoken to many different perspectives in our universe. In a way, you'll be carrying their philosophies with you on this journey. I know you're looking for a specific unity, but if you had to guess what it was, what interpretation would you give it?
It's just a word, and I need to take responsibility for finding it, not
And
Ray.
once you know, what will you do? Even the most objective scientist holds the belief that observation itself will be of benefit to humanity. You will be taking a similar part of yourself with you when you find the answer. Will that not color your perception of it?
The benefit of science is that a person's thoughts can be tested.
So you intend to find the truth, and then have that truth confirmed by your peers. Unity is a reality born of observation and agreement?
It's the scientific method, and I swear by it myself.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. This has been fun, I have to admit. Go, find your truth.
Give me a second. Okay, never mind. I was trying to figure out what Nyx was up to. She's staring at her shadow. Every time a car passes by, she watches the light patterns. Yep, from her lofty perch atop the
Now
fridge.
this planet, look at all this. Whoever lived at this homestead seemed to have settled in for the long haul.
I return your question with a question. If you have read my writings, what is the burden of people? People are necessary, but people are madness. They're too heavy. People gotta go on diets. I object to that. He is not heavy. He's my brother. Just kidding. Who is your most formidable opponent? Myself. Where does enduring contentment come from? In embracing compassion. You came here seeking the true meaning of unity. If you still wish to find it, there is one final piece of myself in the next room. I found my answer a long time ago, but not in the way I was expecting. I hope your journey gives you the truth. I don't know what the correct answer is. I might never. Increasingly, though, I am comfortable with not knowing. The more I reflect on being here, in this world, in this time, the more I think it is precisely where I need to be. This time will be different. It won't be about me, so I won't have to run. I can actually build something with intent instead of scrambling to fix something that others create in my name. It can be something beneficial. I can be something beneficial. I'm leaving behind that other person. This world has no place for him. Let him die, let me live to enlighten the blessed universe before me. You have found the end of my journey, but to know everything, you must find its beginning. On Hyla 2, the island hides the scorpion, and the scorpion's sting hides the truth. Okay. I see an industrial outpost. I don't see anything that looks like what you're telling me to do that.
Landing site locked.
One of the systems I haven't surveyed. So I'll do a little bit of a survey while I'm here, but I'm not going to go on my way for it.
Anything interesting in range?
target-rich environment out here. There's got to be something back on Endem 2 that I didn't pick up, which is why it's directing me back there. Well, we'll go back in a little bit. Oh dear. Well, thank goodness the water is... microbially infected, and standing in it too long will kill me. And somehow she's here before me.
What an incredibly beautiful sculpture. I suspect it was placed here for some sort of specific purpose rather than as an artistic statement.
Hold on a second. Got something coming through on my phone. Probably an Amber Alert. Just a second. Let's see. Yeah, it was an Amber Alert. Child abduction about 3 hours away from me. In Wilmer, which is a suburb of Dallas. Yeah, somehow I just doubt that the kidnapper is going to come this way.
Let me guess.
Okay, hold on a second. Again. Oh, okay. Okay, that's that done. We don't need to do anything else on this planet. I am going to go back to Endem real quick and see if I can find whatever it was I missed at the Pilgrim's Rest. Because it keeps directing me back there, and I'm not gonna...
Oh, look at this world. It's beautiful. Just beautiful.
Okay. Even the Pilgrim ate chunks.
I don't know if our instrumentation is rated for long-term exposure to this level of cold.
Apparently it's auto-saving. There we go. There, maybe that'll clear it. In fact, I think it did. Or it didn't. I was hoping that finding all the Pilgrim's writings would have done it. Oh well. Interesting. Well, look on the bright side, Carrie. You remember I mentioned I was going to do the BioShock games next? In BioShock Infinite, if you're looking around, you'll find a toilet that has what looks like 2 turds floating in it. They're not. Those are potatoes. And yes, you can eat them. Somehow, for at least to me, that rates a little bit higher on the ew factor than Chunk's potato does. Keeper Aquila sent me to find the true meaning of unity.
Now it's all starting to make sense. You should come aboard. There's another Starborn here who is very interested in meeting you.
I can speak for myself. Constellation ship, you weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. It's only fitting you should join us. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. Your one shot at getting those answers you must desperately want.
A ceasefire meeting. Are the Starborn at war?
Not a bad description, actually.
We'll explain when we meet. In person.
Fine. I'll begin the docking procedure.
Good. See? We can all get along. For now.
And then I ram your ship. Oops.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
Hello. Again. Do you remember the emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise.
All we ever wanted was to talk. You attacked us.
Yes, we did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We're all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should.
That doesn't justify murder.
And who gets to say that? You? Me? The emissary? I have debated morality for near infinity, and all I have found are groups of people enforcing their will on others. Rules and laws spoken as principles, but backed by arms and violence.
Enough. We have more to discuss. The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
So, I gotta say, this part is more awkward than I thought. Hiding my face was way easier. I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who ran to the Eye. I left you behind to protect the artifacts. And the Hunter killed you. One of me, at least. I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours.
But both of you are trying to keep people from it.
I have to. This is bigger than all of us. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks. To give up. To appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything. I think you should see it for yourself. You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides. Bingo.
I want a truce. Between all three of us. I will give you some time to think over which approach to the unity is the one you want. Mine. Or the Hunters.
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you.
I'll tell you everything I can. I know we're not the same people we met in our universes. Still, it's good to see you again, old friend.
What exactly is the Armillary?
When all the artifacts are assembled, the device they create is called the Armillary. In many ways, it's a model of the multiverse itself. Through it, you can reach the unity. And from there, you can become Starborn.
So you try to protect the artifacts, keep them from being
You've
used?
seen the terror the Hunter causes. Every time a Starborn goes through the Unity, they get more artifacts, find more temples, gain more power. We can't let more like him abuse these gifts to destroy whatever's in their way.
Who was I in your universe?
Different. I never know who you are when I meet a new version. But so much of you stays the same. It's hard, but each universe is precious in its own way. Mine will never have its original you in it again, as yours won't have its real me. It is not an easy experience to describe, but the Unity will speak to you, offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be reborn. Everything you were before will be gone. Maybe that's why it offers the choice. Compassion? Or is it testing us?
I think it's random. Or semi-random, at least.
The Unity is meant for whomever can get there. Don't fall for that talk of worthiness. They enter the Unity, take artifacts from others, employ force. All the things I do. I am many things, but I would never tell anyone what to do with their gifts. That is your decision, not someone else's. The emissary wants to become the judge of who gets to enter, but the Unity itself doesn't judge. To see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and whoever cries over your body goes on to become the emissary. Sometimes I manage to get you all bunched up and take care of the problem in one go. Sometimes the emissary has gotten to me first, and I never arrive. Hundreds and hundreds of variations of me, hacking through Constellation. And it's almost never you. You making it to your ship on your own. It's new. I took it as a sign. I don't get many of those anymore.
You had this meeting because of me?
No, we always end up having this meeting at this time. But it's the usual affair. Can we make peace? No. Oh, how tragic. Honestly, I was beginning to wonder why I kept tending. And it's a bad habit I started a long time ago. Perhaps I just like meeting the emissary to gloat. But you have provided something quite new to talk about. Maybe you're a random die roll. Or maybe the Unity is finally responding to all my hard work.
Or I bombarded you with enough 40mm grenades to get you to back off.
I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen in quite some time. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until this meeting with the emissary to decide what to do about you.
What is the Unity to you? Why kill for it?
Whoever created the artifacts and built those temples is playing a game with us. One whose prize is access to the center of all creation. There are no rules. Whoever gets all the pieces wins. And I've won. Over and over. I don't kill for the Unity. I find the easiest pathway to it.
Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of old Earth. There are secrets there. You must discover for yourself. Here. To open the way.
You Starborn sure like your "you must see for yourself" nonsense.
I do not always know if you are a person I should be helping. Forgive me. I have also found that advice is a poor substitute for experience. I ask you again. Go to Earth's moon. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
And another skill. Well, I haven't killed enough with a shotgun to get rank 4. See, destroy or board 25 ships with a crew of 4 or more, and I need that to get to rank 3 in ship command. That's annoying. Gotcha. There we go. Automated ship weapons do 10% more damage. The green monster is already pretty potent when its turrets actually fire.
We've detached. Let's get out of here.
And it auto-saves again. Actually, that's... What a coincidence. Back to Endem. 3, 4, D. Might as well find that power while we're out here.
Another dead rock. Well, at least we can scour the place for materials.
Nope. Once you know the trick to finding it, actually finding those temples is reasonably easy. Now to find the entrance to this thing. think I know where it is. Of course, it's on the far side of where I entered the region from.
like nothing else in the settlement.
6 stars.
I'm gonna go down. Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
I don't mind bunking on the ship, but nothing is better than unwinding in your own quarters.
Hey, I've been talking with the others, and I'd like to get everyone together. To say goodbye. You know. To Sam.
I'll be there.
Thank you. It wouldn't be the same without you there. I'll have everything set up in a few days.
Mateo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. What? It can't be.
Our colleague is alive in some alternate dimension? Am I hearing this right?
Let's take a step back. This is everything we've been building towards, and the implications are a lot to take in. Could you explain the part about multiple universes one more time for everyone?
Yes, I
Thank
wouldn't
you for
mind
the
a little more
suggestions.
detail.
I'll do that.
And that's why the Starborn want the artifacts so desperately. They're the keys to unlocking the infinite.
I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes.
Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist. And you're second-guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation.
We should all take time to think about what this
You're
is.
right. This is a lot to take in.
Take some time to process, everyone. We finally have some answers. Now we need to figure out what to do with them.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen.
Huh?
These last glimpses from the eye are from the farthest fringes of known space. Could be the only remaining pieces outside the hands of the Starborn.
Thanks, Vladimir. Remember when deep space was our only problem?
Aye. The blackest sea seems less of a concern when there are sharks leaping out at you.
Thanks, Vladimir. I'll follow up on those.
Catch a smile out there.
So there's 2 more artifact pieces freely available. Now, some of the artifact pieces are the result of missions. I was looking this up online, even though I know this is supposed to be a blind playthrough. And some of the locations are random. Those are the ones that you find from him. Some of them are part of a mission. Those are the ones you buy or steal or find during some other mission, like the one you found at the start of the game. Or the one you stole from that collector.
Every time I return here, I'm reminded of the importance of Constellation's contributions to exploration.
You can feel it, can't you?
Waiting
The
for
lodge just
time's
feels
passage.
empty.
Found one. Easy as a needle in the stack. Hope those powers you're getting to overinflate you. Got enough egos in Constellation.
Yeah. It's the reason why I'm trying to find a bed that's not owned.
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine now.
Owned. Nose keeps itching. Well, that's not it. And I doubt it's the janitor's closet. Owned. Noelle sleeps here. I have no idea how I keep passing it. Waited till Memorial. There we go. Took it a while to autosave.
Constellation has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently.
If something's on your mind.
I have some.
You go do what you have to do. I'll be okay.
Constellation is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you, Sarah. If anyone else would like to say a few words.
Thank you all for coming. Sam knew the dangers we faced better than anyone. He was more than Akila's prodigal son. He was the best among us. And I'll do everything I can to honor his memory.
Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion.
You're in mourning
I thought
too,
maybe
in
I
your
would
own
come
way.
up with something.
I have
to say.
seen death.
I've
I have lost people I considered close.
got nothing. So
But this
instead, I thought I would quote something.
It is not
that
the
gave
same.
me comfort.
I cannot
long
explain
time
why. I
It's
am not
not
sure I am
real.
making sense.
The more proper question would be, is reality divine?
You're making perfect sense. There's no right
Thank
way
you.
to feel.
Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind. But what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny white caps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well.
Yeah.
You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but...
There's something after this, like,
It's
yes.
comforting, isn't it? You haven't really lost someone. You're just waiting to see them again. And you don't even need proof. You just need to believe it. Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. Yes.
I don't often speak.
We don't have a way of knowing whether we really touched the departed with our grief. We just have to have faith.
It's one of those occasions where it's hard.
It's just easier to feel guilty,
Our friend.
if you'll excuse me.
There's no afterlife. No second.
You know,
No God in
what you're
heaven.
feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion. Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more. They're always hard. Always.
Humanity is
And it's okay to sob, to yell, to go to sleep, do whatever it takes. As long as your grief doesn't cause more grief for yourself or anybody else, it's okay.
Been to a lot of funerals, Barrett?
I wrote the book on them. The 10 Stages of Grief by A. Barrett. Step 1 used to be have a drink. But nowadays I settle on a good chocolate bar. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs. Or a piece of jewelry they gave you. Half jokingly. Theoretically, of course.
So the great scientist does feel grief after
Maybe
all.
I like knowing no matter how far I run to the edges of space, someone is going to find their way back to me.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much.
It's fine, thank you.
Good. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down.
Hey, how are you holding up?
Insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere,
It's
simply carried away by space.
It's not really going to hit me until later. Right now, I just need everyone else to be okay.
Field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh?
Take some time for yourself, okay? Plenty of rooms to sit down in if you need to be alone for a while. We'll get through this. It might feel like everything's falling apart, but that's why we need to stick together.
The fact is that the universe goes on.
We all have to get through this our own way. Don't worry about me. Really, I'll be fine.
Yeah, we die. And some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care. Not because it's evil, but
My
because
boy.
it's infinite. Ever expanding.
I've lost my boy.
And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity? Even if it's just for a short
Should be
while.
me buried in the ground. All I ever wanted to do was protect him. No, he was out the door as soon as he could. Away from his mother, away from Aquila, away from me.
We are here.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming.
There's honesty for you. I'm going to say yes just to see here how bad this is going to be. That won't be necessary.
Very well.
Boy, when they said talk to everybody, they meant talk to everybody.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea?
I'll take both my drink and the blackest seas.
Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond.
To old friends.
Aye.
Hi. It's my dad. I just can't. And so many people. Huh. Are we supposed to feel better? Just because we're all in one place? What's the point? It's not going to change anything. Every day is going to be worse now. Don't you get that? I want to be alone for a while, okay?
You one of Sam's constellation people? Lillian Hart. He probably never mentioned me. I mean, I try not to talk about him, so... I'm sorry. That was a terrible thing to say. Cora's mother, Sam's ex. God, I'm rambling. Look, I don't know who I should speak to about this, but Cora and I talked, and she's coming to live with me.
Is this what Cora wants?
Right now, she's taking it all so hard. She wants to get away from here. In time, maybe she'll come back.
I'll miss her, we all will.
She talked about you all the time. But right now, she just needs to get away from all the reminders of Sam. We'll be leaving soon, so say your goodbyes to her, if you like.
I don't really feel like talking.
Okay, one last one. Well, the easel.
Individual depression can be considered a disease, but collective.
Okay, well, we now know the location of 2 more artifacts. We'll go pick those up. We'll find those 3 powers. And then we'll go find out what the emissary wants on the moon. But we're going to have to let that wait for the next stream, because we're coming up on that 4-hour mark. So I'm going to end it here. I want to thank all of you for coming. I appreciate all the support. And Have a great rest of your day. See you for the next one.